All right, you're welcome back to Breakfast Daily here on Citi TV, and I'm grateful to you for choosing us this morning. It's time now for our community development segment, and it's quite interesting that for a country that touts itself as one of the major exporters of cash crops, we're having to deal with the destruction of rubber trees in this day and age. A country that is spending so much money on greening Ghana. We're investing so heavily in planting trees, yet we're witnessing the destruction of trees on a daily basis. If it's not Galamsey that's destroying the trees, it is the parochial interest of an individual or some groups of people who have taken it upon themselves to destroy the trees. We want you to get a proper understanding of the conversation we're going to have, so you can also join us with your thoughts and your comments. And so we're going to play an earlier report filed by our Western Regional Correspondent, Akosie J. Enim, which has to do with the level of devastation caused to rubber trees by illegal miners.
Rubber Estate Limited, GREL, has 19,849 hectares operational area in the Western region, which includes a 50-year lease of state lands, family and stool lands. In the past 2 weeks, GREL, which has 26% government stake, detected the activities of illegal gold miners within its concession near Adeoso in the Hunter West municipality, prompting a move by the Operation Vanguard. However, upon arrival at the concession, they were met with a resistance from the about 500 youth doing Galamsey.
So what is currently happening now is that the police is trying to take or arrest the leader of the group, but the youth are resisting. They don't want the leader to be arrested. And so the police, as we speak, is trying to do everything to take their leader away to actually answer for their operations over here. But the youth are seriously resisting the arrest of their leader.
Committee man and Wabua, young people in the MC, and an MP in a Wabua and the Major Bakodo, and a payer and a police of Wabi or 220 Bangbayas, young one Senate, you're in painful and on a committee man, Hunter West. I've been a friend Sakaya Yadi, Aquataqua, PC, Biality, Hunter West committee man, and a PR with a travel. Near person at the bank. In painful, it's a young man, you could Wabi, when a treasure, a drama, the Benjamin, while praying one away. And it's what can we hear to Mana, Abadwin, young Chrono, community mining, and a
No, we are not going to leave it. We are not going to leave it unless they kill us, because we can't leave this one and go and steal. Are they sending us to go and steal? Are they sending us to go and steal? We can't steal. I will not steal. I will do my work.
They're saying they are not going to give up. They are not going to leave the place. And so they are on rampage, demanding that the land is left for them to actually do their Galamsey. And so as we speak, that is the situation here. The police is trying to actually calm them down, but they are saying that they are never going to leave the plot of land that they are doing their Galamsey on, because this is the only place that they get their livelihood, even though the land has been given to Ghana Rubber Estate Limited.
Looking at the numbers, we cannot arrest all the people here involved. And therefore, we haven't also inspected their documents to know whether what they are doing is legal or illegal. And therefore, we came with the intention of taking the leadership, sit down with them, so that we'll have a jaw meeting and know their background, whether they are legitimate or they are not legitimate. And if we want to stop them, how are we going to address it? And so on and so forth. But the leadership has proven to me this morning that they will not be able to control the people.
Citi News followed up at their Hunter West municipality on allegations that the assembly permitted their activities, but the NCE, Henrietta Mary Asin, was not available. The corporate affairs manager of GREL, Perry Echampong, reacted to the allegations by the Galamseyers and said that GREL had not given out any portion of the concession to illegal miners.
It's very disturbing, very bad, because this is an act of lawlessness and illegality, and it's unfortunate that if the authorities cannot prevent or protect companies or private companies or investments, then It's rather unfortunate we don't know where we are going.
So right now, the Operation Vanguard seem to have aborted their operation, and for now we can say that it is basically a win for these galamseyers who say they wouldn't allow their leadership to be taken away for any questioning or clarification.
Right, so these are some of the issues that we need to be dealing with on a daily basis in this country. Now, it is very sad and unfortunate when the very people that you are fighting for, are resisting the very attempts, that we are making to bring sanity into the system. Nana, and I always go back to education. Sometimes, we talk about enforcing the laws and all that, but if the people do not understand why they are being asked to stop, these are some of the things that we'll be facing. Because if they cannot appreciate the fact that whatever it is we are doing is in their benefit, and they think that, well, we need to survive. Yes, you need to survive, but does that mean that destroy the environment? And people do not understand. When you talk about this, the responses you normally get will be, we educate the people are stubborn people. Yes, Ghanaians can be stubborn, but if you are telling the people and they still don't see the sense in what you're saying, then it means that change the approach.
Exactly.
Whatever it is you are teaching them is not working, So really, if I know I will die, why would I go and do something that will kill me?
Clearly. And you see, these issues, when they come up, the underlying factor is that basically they are bread and butter issues.
Yes.
But the fact that you are unemployed does not mean you gain illegally. You don't take matters into your own hands. Invade a legally acquired concession and do what you want over there.
Exactly.
It's not done anywhere. This story actually broke somewhere 2020. And if you listen to the corporate affairs manager, that means the Ghana Rubber Estate Limited was going to lose about 550,000 euros in investment due to the operations of these illegal miners. I mean, we heard the agitations of the people that they won't stop because there is no work to be done, and so this is all they can engage in. But, I mean, the government has introduced community mining. If you won't avail yourself for that, you do not take matters into your own hands, invade somebody's legally acquired concession for rubber production or rubber plantation, and destroy the plantation. It costs them money to grow these trees, and these are cash crops that will, at the end of the day, fetch enough revenue. Where there's a challenge is that has there been proper engagement with the community to absorb some of them into the business of rubber plantation and, of course, rubber production? Has there been any proper agreement with the land acquisition in the area? And then, of course, the employment of the youth in the area into the plantation and, of course, onward production of rubber. I think this will go a long way to stem some of these challenges that we encounter. But regardless, there is no excuse for you to invade another person's concession to do what you want there, all in the name of unemployment and bread and butter issues. It's just not right.
You see, Nana, and one thing is, we keep talking about, illegal mining, we keep talking about sanitation issues, flooding, I mean, you name it. But the issue is, how are we, as a nation, positioning ourselves to change this story? How are we ensuring that, let's say in the next 10 years, things will be different? Are we now paying attention to our younger people in the classroom? What are we telling them? And so these children will also grow up with the same mentality, with the same way of doing things. And then they also come with that sense of entitlement that because I don't have a job, then I can go clear the entire plantation just so that I can also eat. But really, is that what it is? If we are not careful, look, in about 5-10 years, there will be nothing to show, as a nation. And this is where we are heading towards. And the impunity of people thinking that they can boldly, stand in front of cameras to say that we will not stop, we will do this, and daring authorities. And sometimes it's also because the people that we look up to, to enforce these things, are they themselves involved in all these illegal activities? And so if I know that a certain honorable is part of this, why do I have to sit down, and go hungry while I see an honorable who would drive their V8s, come in there, we kowtow, you know, honorable, they splash a few cities in your face, they go. Now everybody wants to be like that. Everybody wants to look successful. Everybody wants people to celebrate them, to hail them. So if this is what it takes, you know, and most of the times it's not just about what you tell people not to do. It is what you are not doing. Okay? People tend to look at your actions. So you can't say something and then do the other. And so there are very, very serious underlying issues that are the real problems that we need to solve. And we all know these things, but sometimes we tend to keep a blind eye and then solve the symptoms, you know. These ones, I don't think that anybody could. Look, if a chief is involved in this, why won't the youth also feel emboldened to do some of the things that they do? To be very honest with you, Nana, I don't know in terms of illegal mining what next we are going to do as a people. Because it looks like we've done everything. I mean, military has come in, task force, the government.
You see, that's why I keep saying it's a bread and butter issue. So if you need the people to stop, you need to provide an alternative livelihood. But it should be a sustainable one, and it should be well propagated so that the people understand why they should actually subscribe to it. You see, until they get that understanding, they will keep on going out there to look for food. They will keep on going out there to look for money to survive. So, I mean, I think the education bit really needs to be hammered home well. We need to do a proper education drive, a proper campaign to get the people on board. And that is why people like the chiefs in these areas are very, very important. Because when you go down there, really the people listen to their chiefs.
Oh, yes.
So we need to get the chiefs to subscribe to whatever it is or whatever policy it is we're putting out there so that they can understand the reasoning behind the need. Listen, the people down there, you can't tell them that they don't know they are destroying the environment. And you can't tell them they don't know that it will come back to bite them one day. But today, they need to fend for themselves. So if we're educating them and making them understand that, okay, engage in this other alternative instead of illegal mining.
Exactly.
You will be making so and so and so. These provisions will be made. It's just like what the Fisheries and Aquaculture Minister has done. She's closed the sea for the close season, but she's providing alternative livelihood for the fisher folk. So now the opportunities to engage in making, hairdressing, carpentry, masonry, and all that. And on top of that, she's sending bags of rice and oil to the various fishing communities. Although not sustainable, but at least there's a show of goodwill. There's some commitment to get the people to understand why the sea needs to be closed for the fish to spawn. If we go into these mining communities and do same, it will go a long way for the people down there to understand why they should not engage in illegal mining and allow for environmental sustainability. At the same time, gaining their food, their survival in alternative livelihoods. Listen, there's complaints about, I mentioned the job creation and employment issue early on in my submission. Let me give you some figures from GREL. Now, you know what's funny? The government of Ghana actually owns 25% shares in the Ghana Rubber Estates Limited. So it cannot afford to sit down for some of these things to happen. Now, on the issue of employment, GREL directly employs from its nucleus and factory operations 4,500 individuals as at the end of 2019. In addition, it employs 3,500 indirect employees through the Outgrower project out of 9,500 external farmers. So if you're in an area like this, clearly there's an opportunity for you to go into rubber farming. You get it? It's just that for that, you would have to wait a number of years for the trees to grow. And so they don't have patience to wait for that period. And so they'll rather go into Galamsey, look for some quick money out of Galamsey, which is a problem. So in as much as we're educating the folks down there, we're providing alternative livelihoods for them. We need to crack the whip. I have maintained that Kofi Bedu in that small community has no money to buy an excavator.
No.
So cut off the head of the snake and solve the matter.
that's
As
my
simple as-
call,
as
you know,
simple as that.
because you cannot tell me that, look, if you take the Kofi Badus away, we have a million Kofi Badus who
Yeah.
are prepared, who are hungry, who are prepared to do illegal stuff, you know. But there's one bossu somewhere
Yeah.
who is fueling all these. What
Exactly.
happens to those? Because they can pick phones and call other or the people in authority, and so they are untouched, you know, leaving it and deceiving ourselves that we are fighting this. But really, how long will it take for us to see changes in our society? Look at how long we've been talking about galamsey and stop galamsey. When did Citi even start our whole galamsey call? Nothing really has been done. Now, this is my challenge. It's going to take time. If we don't start now,
Yeah.
when are we going to start? Okay, because we are sitting here, we have people who have been in illegal mining for all these years. Their children have finished junior high school, their children have finished senior high school, they've joined. So if we do not address the situation at the basic level, these children see their parents do these things. And so they think that this is a great business for us to also go into it. And we've recently had reports of people who have passed their YX successfully and due to lack of money to further their education, they have to go to illegal mining and all that. But really, what are we even doing? You know, what is the plan for the young people in the classroom? Can we even start now changing the mindset of how we do things to the extent that if anybody comes to you to say, get involved in illegal mining, I'm going to pay you this much, your parents can say that you are not doing this. The parents themselves can get up and say that we are not going to do this because it is dangerous. Now, why would you be sacrificing your life to go down there to engage in illegal mining, you know, get some terminal diseases while there's a big man somewhere who lives in Accra, who lives in Kumasi, in Takoradi, with their families? They are not descending into the pits, you know, to put themselves in harm's way. Why are you doing this? If people are smart and intelligent enough that you are killing yourself and you're not even getting so much. I understand that it's bread and butter issues, but this is where we need our chiefs to come in. The chiefs themselves should do the right thing. They should really be the leaders that we have, you know, instilled them to be. Okay, so that you can make positive impact on your people. But if Nana himself is selling the lands to people and we are here, why would I not also, the little I can get, take advantage of that and go, you know? And let's find proper ways of survival for the people. Young people are dying every day in pits. Are we going to sit down, do nothing about it in the name of they must eat? Is this the best way to eat? What is the point in going down there to find something, you know, to survive on, and you end up dying? The very life that you want to sustain, you are losing it. Why are we doing this to ourselves?
And it's interesting that you mentioned the chiefs taking responsibility and acting upon authority, because in the Western region, a chief has actually been arrested for destroying 33,000 mature rubber. I mean, for the life of me,
for less than
I can't understand
100,000 euros.
I can't understand this. That a chief who is supposed to be a custodian of the environment, to ensure the sustainability of the environment, will lead an operation to destroy 33,000 mature rubber trees. I mean, I just don't get it. And it saddens me so much.
You see, the sad thing is, if you're not careful, the young people coming up now, very soon, we will not have any land called Ghana. You know, the geographical space will be there, but substance-wise, there won't be anything to show for it, because we are destroying everything, and the rate at which we are doing it today is extremely concerning. You know, we have some chiefs who really have stood up to say that galamsey will not happen in my communities. What about the rest? Why are we not getting, because really the people listen to the chiefs much more than politicians, and that is why the politicians always want the buy-in of our chiefs, because they know that when Nana says that or Ni says that we are going this way, there's the likelihood that you have about 70% of the people towing what their chief will be saying. So why are we not also, you know, empowering our chiefs well enough? You know, government should sit with the chiefs, find a proper sustainable ways of, you know, bringing this problem to the barest minimum, if not eradicating it completely. How are we, you know, getting the people some vocation to live on. If you say people should go into rubber plantation in the Western region, how long is that going to take? But people can actually go into maize farming, they can go into poultry, they can do other things.
Some level of subsistence
you know,
farming.
that there's quick returns, you know, that one, you can even eat from what you are growing and you make money out of that. Let's start looking at these things. And then I still say that we should now change whatever we are teaching the children in the classroom, because obviously it hasn't yielded anything. And so people are coming out as graduates with long lists of degrees and all that, but you put them in leadership position and they are total failures. Right. How are we going to change this? Maybe we should now sit down and agree and admit that whatever it is we are calling education has failed.
Indeed, we understand that the chiefs in the Western region are frowning upon the destruction of the rubber trees. But there is a particular chief that has been arrested for leading others to destroy these 33,000 trees that I'm talking about.
But beyond the frowning, what next?
Really, what actions are we taking?
Do you get it? Because yes, we talk about it, we don't like it and all that, but what practical steps are we taking to ensure that we stop it? We've been crying all these years. And still it is going on. So does that not mean that we should change our strategy? Because whatever it is we are doing now is not working. And really, that's the sad reality.
Clearly. And you see, like we said, community engagement is very key in these issues. Let's explain it to the people. Break it down to their level of understanding so that they get it. You don't just go there and bandy figures about. You see, the problem with doing that is if you go there and you go and tell them that we've taken 70 hectares of your land, we're paying you X amount, we're cultivating rubber over X number of years. It is supposed to return Y amount of CDs at the end of this period. Right? And we are not telling them that, okay, there is production cost, there is overhead cost, there is investments that need to be cleared. In their head, that one figure that you've put out there is money that you, this one company, is taking away. So I'm like, okay, this is my area, this is my land. I can go in there and do my own mining and make this amount of money. Why am I sitting home unemployed for you, one person, to come and take away all this money? And so it gets the people agitated to an extent. But if you're able to break it down, that say I am making 1 million CDs after 5 years of cultivation, it cost me this amount to secure the land, it cost me X amount to get the seedlings, it cost me X amount to grow the trees over this number of years. This is how much my overhead cost. This is my cost of production. This is how much I am paying in taxes. This is how much revenue has come in, and this is the profit I am taking out. This is how much I'm going to pay you if I employ you. Then the people get the buy-in. There's some level of understanding. And so for those who want to be employed directly, they avail themselves. And then, of course, there's the indirect employment. Listen, if there's a factory situated in that area, the local food industry there is going to grow. Even in those communities, the health sector is going to grow because some of these companies really are giving back to the communities where they operate. And it's quite sad that this is happening to GREL, because just last week they made a significant donation to the people of Ahanta when the floods came in.
And another thing, you know, I think that, and it will still come back to our leaders, okay? Leaders should begin to look beyond their personal interest. Think of Ghana. And so when certain agreements are reached, let's ensure that we follow through. Why can't we say that any foreign company that is coming, or any big company in Ghana that wants to go into mining, these are the basics that you need to provide to the community. And for me, the things that government cannot do, i.e. the schools, hospitals, the roads, give them to these communities to do. I would really love, you know, for what we want to achieve, that any major company coming into any community to engage in mining should give the area a school and make sure that this is a well-resourced school to the standard of an international school. give it to the community. Let's begin to change the mindset of the people, get the right people to teach. This should not be something that is left on paper. So yes, you are supposed to do A, B, C, but you go in there and instead of the school, one person feels that, oh, if you can give me this much, we can just ignore, we can talk to the people, I'll look at the opinion leaders, we settle them, and as for the people, don't worry, we will handle them. If we continue to do things like this, look, it is our land. Whoever is coming in, they take the lease for a certain period. After a while, they leave. The degradation now is on us. And we will continue to be poor. This is why we are poor, because we are every day thinking about what we are satisfying our stomachs with today, not thinking about tomorrow. So everybody comes in and this is their mentality. Once I'm a chief, once I'm a political leader, once I'm a church leader, once I'm any kind of religious leader, anybody who becomes a leader wants to cash in, wants to take advantage of the people some way or the other. How do we develop a nation with this kind of mentality? It is very, very unfortunate that this is what we are doing to ourselves. And so the helpless people who are the very last, the bottom of the social ladder, are the ones who are just, going in cycles. They keep, the poor keeps getting poorer, and we keep widening the poverty gap. The rich keeps getting richer, the poor keeps getting poorer. Because really, we make sure that the education that the people need to liberate themselves, they don't have. Right. And this is why they will also stand back and say that we will do it. This is what we want to do. We want to understand it. You are killing yourself. And the rich people, they don't care.
Right. Let's take you to the Hunter West and let's give you a report on what really the chiefs are saying. I understand they went on a tour of a plantation belonging to GREL, and they've seen the level of devastation there. Let's take a look at this report.
In the last few years, the Ghana Rubber Estate Limited's rubber plantation in the Western region have been threatened by encroachers and illegal small-scale gold mining operators claiming to be under the community mines. This has led to some destruction of acres of GREL's rubber plantations. The latest is the destruction of over 33,000 two-year-old rubber trees detected on Tuesday, 4 July at Jabin Chrome in the Hunter West municipality of the Western region. This destruction is suspected to have been caused by persons claiming to want to expand the community, although far from the community. The Association of Paramount Chiefs on whose land GREL operates, Aklango, during a visit to the destroyed plantation, condemned the destruction on GREL's duly acquired lands for its plantation and rubber processing.
We are disappointed and very sad about what has happened. As it has been indicated earlier on, this is a factory that is giving the local people in our areas jobs. And if you look at the number of people involved directly and indirectly in the activities of GREL, I think it's sufficient for us. And so when this information was given to Nanano, we were so happy, disappointed and sad. And what even made it worse is that there's an association by which the the company and Nanano interacts, where differences are always resolved peacefully. So we thought that if there's even any, there's a chance for us to meet and resolve it peacefully, as it has been done. It has been going on all this period. So we are surprised about the destruction. We are so sad. We are, it does not speak well of Nanano. It does not speak well of us at all, because I am very sure those people who were involved in these activities were subjects in our various communities. So we live with them. And so if they have any issue, we think that they should come to us and tell us, so that we can also take it on and have a discussion over it with the Ghana Rubber Estate Limited.
The Paramount Chief of Lower Disco, who is also the chairman of Aklango, expressed their support to get the persons involved prosecuted.
We condemn the whole thing, and we believe we will support them. We want those people who are involved, if they are arrested, to be punished. They should be punished to serve as a deterrent to the other community, so that nobody else too can take the law into his own hands and come and misbehave like this. And that is why we want those people, when arrested, should be severely punished. We are going to support GREL to make sure that those people are involved are severely punished. Because GREL, we have every time that we need them, GREL comes. And most of the issues, we cannot get 100% for our worries. At least they give us some concessions. So there's no point in engaging in this activity like this.
Managers of Ghana Rubber Estate Limited say they will communicate their official position on the matter in the coming week.
Right, so that's the report from the Western Region filed by Kosi JNIM, our correspondent there. And this has to do with the destruction of some 33,000 rubber trees. We understand that they have been cultivated for over 2 years. And now we're seeing this level of destruction. Quite a huge cost to the company itself. We want to understand the issues as they are, and of course, what recommendations going forward can be implemented to help prevent some of these things from happening, and of course, to boost our rubber industry. Joining us via Zoom is Perry Achampong. He's Corporate Affairs Manager at the Ghana Rubber Estate Limited. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine, and yourself?
I'm okay. Clearly not an exciting morning for you regarding the issues that have come up. As if to say it's not enough that you're having to deal with illegal miners. Now we have the issue of a chief leading the destruction of trees that you have cultivated. How challenging is it to operate in this particular area, the Hunter West area?
Yeah, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. First, I want to correct something you said earlier on in your program about the shares of government. Right. It's not 25%. Government, in the last 2 years, has increased its stake in Ghana Rubber Estate. So now its shares is 26.75. Right. It invested in the
Thank you for that correction.
So okay, great. Now, it's like you said, it's so challenging working in this area. What is happening is like we're in a wilderness and we don't get any assistance. I want to give a brief background of the whole land issue. We are actually operating on state land, which were acquired in the 60s by executive instrument. In the mid-90s, before the divestiture of GREL, some communities were agitating for land for community expansion. The initial acquisition of GREL was 36,000 hectares. Government released 21,000 hectares back to the communities and gave GREL only 15,000 hectares. So what actually was given back to the community is more than what was given to GREL. Over the last 3-4 years, anytime we are developing, some of these communities will come agitating for land for community expansion. And when you look at even the areas they are looking for, it's far from the community, like a reporter said. Right. And so this particular chief last year made a request for, actually they don't even make the demand. Okay, so when you are working, they just go there to stop. And we've explained to them severally that this are state land, and we don't have authority to release state land. And we know the process. We take them through this process. So last year, this chief came demanding that we stop work, and we said, no, we've explained this to you. He was invited by Nanano, and all the chiefs explained to him that this is a procedure. Even if there's a need, there's a process to go through the Lands Commission to get, but he will not listen.
Sorry, before you continue, is this particular chief part of the association of chiefs on whose lands you operate?
Yes, it's part of the chiefs. And I'd like to correct that this was not a community-based action. The community are against the chief because what they are saying is what his process or what he's asking for is not the right way. He's asking for something personal, not that he really needs the land. He destroyed over 12,000 trees last year, July, exactly the same period last year. And this year, he's gone ahead to destroy almost 20,000 trees. And the actual cost within a year is about 1.7 million Ghana Citi if we add the destruction he did last year to raid. And so it's a bit unfortunate. Last year, with the help of Lands Commission, there were several seminars held for all the chiefs and the communities, explaining to them that GREL occupies state land, a process you have to go through to get a land from the state. But this chief will still not listen, and he wants to take the law because he's doing it because, he did it last year when he destroyed over 12,000 trees. He wasn't arrested.
Exactly.
He wasn't prosecuted.
I was going to ask about that because if
it encourages him.
Yes, if you are aware he did this last year and you didn't take any action against him, clearly that empowers him to continue doing what he's doing.
No, we took action, this purely a criminal offense, and we need to make a report to the authorities. We reported, so action was, but this time we want to show, thank the regional commander and the district and division. They took action within 24 hours.
Okay.
They arrested him and 2 of his accomplices. And so I think it serves a warning to him that he can't continue doing this. The case is in court right now, they are prosecuting, so we'll wait for the outcome of the case. But like you said, this is a community, and GREL employs over 4,000 people in the rural communities directly.
Right.
Our Outgrower project employs more than 10,000 people. So you have one company that is giving about 14,000 direct employment in the rural areas. This is not the urban areas. When you look at the indirect employment through our operations, we have another 50,000 people. And let's ask ourselves, these are for the rural areas, not the urban areas. So we just need to see how much we impact the communities. In terms of when you take Jabin Cream to be specific, the reason why the community are not in support of it is that about 90% of the people in the community are employed by GREL. Every single household depends on GREL. And so when GREL doesn't exist, this is a rural community, they have nothing. You talked about school, we have a school there, and when you check with the municipal education office, it's the best. Every year it comes out on top. We resource the school, do everything, and we just can't allow this to happen. And at times we don't blame them because, in 2 years ago, as a company, we were there, then out of nowhere, we realized that part of our concession have been given to minors. This is, and we are not
given by who?
The regional administration. We went there before we realized it was even journalists who called us to tell us that they've been invited to commission a community mining. When they realized it's our concession. See how serious the thing is. We were not informed. Nobody told us before we realized part of our concession. So when this thing goes on, it encourages the people. Again, 2 years ago, we had our staffs attacked in parts of Western region, working on our land because the community is also demanding. And they just demand that today they decide we want this part of the concession. They just go attack and destroy everything. It's something that has been going on for the last 3-4 years, and we need the authorities to come to our aid to stop, because we are going through a lot of challenges at GREL. We not only just develop the rubber plantation, but we add value to it.
Right.
4 years ago, we put up a new factory at a cost of 25 million euro. We had to shut down the factory within 2 months of inauguration, simply because we didn't have access to raw material. We have this challenge where we have factories, we have enough processing capacity in Ghana to add value to our products. Now, the law doesn't ban or prohibit people from exporting raw catalogs. So they export all these things. Now we need to depend solely on our own plantation to feed our factory.
Okay.
As I speak to you, our factory has been closed down. The new factory was closed down a month ago because we don't have raw material. Now, if the plantation that to produce the raw material is being destroyed, then we have to shut down our factory. So these are the challenges we're going. We have staff who have been attacked severally, and these are human life we are joking about. People are attacked, properties are destroyed. There's no prosecution, and so it encourages people to go on and on and on.
Exactly.
And like the paramount chief said, they are against it. They always speak about it, that we need authorities to come to the aid of GREL. We need to stop this illegality. Going to destroy all this 1.7 million Ghana cedi, that amount of money could be put into community development.
Right.
We talked about supporting the community and everything. So you don't destroy this, and where are we going to get the extra money or additional money to do community development when we've just lost 1.7 million in 12 months?
Right. I can understand where you're coming from, but I want to find out what's the level of security you have put in place to, first of all, monitor your plantations and, of course, to ensure its protection. And, of course, that of your staff, because your lives are also at risk here.
Yeah, that we want to thank, like I said, we are grateful to the regional command. Immediately, they've given us some men for protection, okay? And for over the years, the 2BN in Takrady, they've also been of immense help to us. They always provide military men to give protection because, we're looking at 15,000 hectares and we are spread over 85 communities. It's not...
Yeah. And
when people talk about GREL lands, yes, it's 15,000 hectares, but 15,000 hectares is not located in one community.
Okay.
This is spread over 9 paramount areas. in over 85 communities. So the impression shouldn't be created as if all lands have been taken in one. And that is what the government did. The government took it all over the region. So it's not in one. Maybe you have 1,000 acres in a particular community, 500 acres. So it's not that all this 15,000 hectares is in one area. Okay. And the acquisition was done that there's vast land for people. And when these people asked, my brother, when they asked that we need land for community expansion, and we are there, and that's why the chief, some of the paramount people get worried because they see land on the side of the community. They want to cross to the other side of the road where GREL is that they want to expand. Meanwhile, they have land there. And when you tell them, they say, oh, that land, they've given out to people to do 1 or 2 projects, so they cannot go and take it back. What the government has given to us for a project, that is what they have to take. And this is so unfortunate. We need to look at it carefully.
Right. For how long have you had this association with the chiefs? And how strong is this association or the engagements with this association? I'm asking because if there's that bond, if there's that arrangement, then you would expect that there will be a buy-in from all of the other chiefs. Yeah,
I agree. This association has been in place since 2006.
Okay.
Okay, so it's been long, and that's strong. We meet. I mean, every year there's an annual general meeting where we bring all the chiefs together. We discuss issues. Half year we do, but for the executives, they have the paramount chiefs for the 9 areas where GREL operates as the executive body of this association, and we educate them. So we meet on quarterly basis, where all the chiefs know that is the first point of call in addressing any grievance between GREL and the communities. And the chiefs do come to us. Okay, we have an office, and Jabin Krum, for instance, is so close. It's just 3 minutes walk from GREL. We have a community liaison office over there where they can discuss issues. So there's a line of communication where any issue with the community can be discussed with GREL. Okay, and so we find this a bit strange that they take the law into account. On this issue, even we met again 2 months ago, where the chiefs invited the chief. We spoke to him, everything was discussed, and he left with a threat that we will see what will happen. And actually, he's carried out his threat.
That means he was not satisfied with whatever conversations you had during that meeting. Could it be that this chief had made some demands from you directly?
Yeah, and we need to be clear, we work as a community, okay? And we need to do projects that benefit the community. Rather, if a chief comes, and I'm sorry to say this, but we don't like saying this, and you are demanding money for your personal thing, that you feel that if GREL doesn't give you the land, we give you 500,000 Ghana Citi, which company? And we said that, why don't we put this money into a project for the community?
Right.
He says, no, I don't want a project for the community. The only way I'll let you have peace is that you pay me 500,000 Ghana Citi.
500,000? To an individual?
Yeah, I have to say this on air, but you see, when you look at this demand, which corporate entity will just be able to meet this demand? And we are ready to support. We know we've been doing CSR for them. We provided with them with water and a lot of things, school and everything. They've been having annual perennial flooding.
Yeah.
We even took excavators there, and that's why the community engaged him to help solve the flooding situation. He got our excavator operators arrested.
Wow.
We have a health. We wanted to put another chip compound there. He said no. He said he doesn't want anything. All he wants is 500,000 for himself personally. That is the only condition where he will allow even GREL to give assistance to the community. So there's even set a condition for us to assist the community, which this is a bit unfair.
Is this chief a paramount chief?
No, he's just an ODCRO. He's not a divisional. He's not.
Wow. It's quite worrying that he feels so empowered to be able to do such a thing. But let's find out. I mean, irrespective of the demands he's making individually or personally, I mean, the opportunity for employment of locals, indigens, how strong is this? And would this be enough to help reduce the level of agitations among the community folk?
Oh yeah, it's strong. Like I told you earlier, like I said earlier, and I said about 90% of the community are employed by GREL. They work in GREL.
Okay.
I mean, when you go to
Jabin Krum,
90% of the community work in GREL. Almost every household depends on, even the chief also depends on GREL.
Wow. Interesting.
So that's what I'm saying, that it's a bit difficult when you come to employ. That's why it's difficult for him to get. And we know the distraction that carried out, that was done. He did not use community members because the community members were not in agreement. He had to bring people from outside the community.
Oh, okay.
To do that, because the community are not in support, because they see GREL as their livelihood, that we provide that, and everybody is working in GREL.
Okay.
You have even and the local economy, the women with the shops, because Jabin Chrome is opposite on the other side of our main plantation, of the head office for the plantation. So there's a lot of economic activity there. All the town folks work in GREL, in various sections of GREL. So nobody would want to go destroy their very livelihood. It will not make sense for them to do. And if you speak to the assemblyman, the youth leader, all the women, they are even so worried. They've been so worried from last week that, I mean, a bad image will be painted of the community as destroying GREL, which they know they've not done it.
Right. I don't know how easy or how difficult it would be to destroy about 33,000 trees. But how far off is this particular plantation from your establishment? And at what time of day was the act carried out that your security operatives did not get wind of it?
Yeah, normally it was carried out at dawn, okay? And with this number of this trees, if we get like 10 or 15 people within 3 or 4 hours, you could do it. They do it under the cover of darkness. Like I told you, we have 15,000 hectares. You can't keep security everywhere.
Yeah.
And so what we do is that in terms of our security assessment, we have certain places which were like the high risk areas, okay? These trees were also just 1 and 2 years old. So 1, 2 year, it's very small. You can just, with one cutlass cut, you just cut them off. So it's easy to do this thing with 10 people in a space of 3 hours. That could be done. And where it is, we don't have security. The security post is not clear. I mean, they were on their patrol. I think they just saw it when the people had finished, because during the patrol at dawn, they realized it around 4 a.m. During the patrol that the trees had been cut. So we believe it would have been between midnight and 4 a.m. that they did that.
Wow. Well, we're sorry for this unfortunate situation, but now that he's been picked up, I mean, he's before court. There's prosecution ongoing. But from your point, or from where you stand, what next? What does the future hold for GREL, and of course securing your concessions and ensuring the protection of your trees?
Thank you. I think that for now we'll continue doing what we've always been engaging the chiefs. Like I said, last year. Last year and early this year, there were 2 seminars with the chief to educate them. We'll continue engaging the community, because we have a community affairs department that is always having monthly meeting with these communities, and we expect we'll continue with this, that some issues will be brought to the table for discussion. We'll be seeking assistance of government. We've been trying to get authorities to come to our aid, and we hope this time they'll listen to us. We are very grateful to the police. For the first time, they picked up the people within 24 hours, and they're investigating the issue. So I hope that they will complete the investigation and the prosecution will be done. Okay. We just have to hope for the best. If this continues, it means we might need to shut down our factory. And one factory employs about 350 people. And the 350 people are not people from the urban areas in Takrady or Accra or Kumasi. They are from these rural areas.
Okay.
We have 2 factories that alone employs about 700 people.
Right.
The second factory we needed to do, the plan was to do a 62 million euro investment. The first phase of 25 million has been done. Unfortunately, we cannot continue because we have issues with raw materials. So if this distraction continues and the sale of exploitation of rock envelopes continues, we have no choice but maybe have to completely shut down our operations in GREL or in Ghana, because it's just not, we can't have factories without raw material and the plantation being destroyed. It's just not feasible to continue business in that way.
I know you've put a figure to the level of destruction, but just give me an idea of how much it will cost to grow these trees till the time that's, and how long it would take till they are harvested as raw materials for your factories.
Now we've lost, basically we lost 2 years of production because we needed these rubber trees within 6 to 7 years ready for production. Now, if we have to go back to plant, we have to do it next year because it's too late to do. So it gives us 3 years. It means we're going to draw back our production is going to be pushed forward 3 years. and that will cost us a lot. In terms of replanting this one, we're looking at almost a million Ghana cedi to replant all these things again.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Is there any plan to engage a government on its Green Ghana Day so that some level of concentration will be given to rubber trees? To help, reduce the cost incurred.
Yeah, we've discussed that, but we're yet to meet the authorities to see how we can put that into play.
All right, Perry, thank you so very much. But I hope this doesn't stop you from, helping the communities as you have been doing. We've seen some fine reports of your contributions towards community development, and I think it's something good. You should continue.
No, we can't stop as a responsible company. We can't penalize the general population just for the actions of one or two individuals. Like I said, it's not a community base, and we have school children there. We are putting them into schools, paying scholarships and everything. So we can't just say because a chief has misbehaved, excuse me to say, we're just going to cut everything. No, we are not going to do that. We support them annually for their festivals as well, and August is just in the corner. We are even working to do our donation to them next month to all the 95 communities for their festival. So we will not stop doing that. Okay, we have a couple of projects which are undergoing. We'll continue to do it for them.
Right. I was going to let you go, but just a quick one. How far with the illegal miners?
The illegal miners, like I said, they're still there over there. We're still having an issues. There's a town close to where the destruction was happening. Last week we went there and about 33 trees have been destroyed by these illegal miners.
Wow.
We reported to the police again on it, and they are still coming. I'll get your reporter to send you footage of it. It's very bad. They are just destroying everything totally.
All right, Perry, thank you so very much for your time this morning, and we wish you all the best.
Right,
thank you so very much. Perry Champong there. He's the Corporate Affairs Manager at the Ghana Rubber Estate Limited. I can't be few.
You see,
it's quite sad.
For me, the only thing that we can do to help this kind of situation is what is going on. Now, if the chief has been arrested, can we follow this through its logical conclusion?
Yes.
Because most of the time, what happens is you hear of the arrest and that is it. And so we don't have clear deterrents, for people who would also engage in stuff like this. You remember earlier I mentioned that there are people who are there, leaders who are there just for their for their personal interests, and if this is what we are going to be doing, really, then what's the point? Because the person who is supposed to come save the people is the very one who is causing them so much. And so if this chief has been arrested, let us see his prosecution, let us see what the punishment will be. And of course, this will help, other people, because if you know that a chief was even arrested and has gone to prison, then a common law member like you and I, you know that you will not go scot-free. And this is the problem that we have in this country.
Yeah. Well, let's speak to one of the chiefs from the area. He's actually the vice chairman of the Association of Chiefs on whose land GREL operates. Awulai Atibrukusu III. Good morning, Nana.
Good morning, sir.
I hope you're fine.
Oh, by His grace, I'm okay.
Thank you so very much for your time this morning. Nana, how concerned are you that one of your own would engage in such an act?
In fact, it's so unfortunate, and I will use the word even barbaric for people to engage in such a thing. Because we have this association being Akrango, and Akrango is intermediate.
Okay.
That is the concerns of GREL and the concerns of Nananum, the community, and others.
Okay.
So should there be any issue, you bring it to Akango, and Akango will just be. We are like the joint officers between the two. And then Nananum will sit with Akango, the executives and others. That result. Much of the time, it is all bothered about land for expansion of the community. Fine, you do agree with them perfectly. But you need to do the right thing at the right time. And there are two different creations. One is something that is yours and something that you are demanding from somebody. You have your right. Something is right. When it is as of your right, then you can use, look at this and you can use your left hand to clear it. But when you are taking it from somebody, you need to take that. But what exactly happened to me, not me, myself alone, all anonymous and executive members is so much unwarranted. And we never thought such a thing to even happen. To the tune of cutting down 33,000, almost 34,000 of rubber trees down. Look at the amount that has been invested in the area. And look at what you have cost. Doing that and forgetting that it is the same people there who have been doing a lot by at least providing some of our social amenities, some of our projects and others. In fact, they have done so well and they are doing well. One thing I've been seeing of which the other day when you were there, you discussed what we have to do is to make sure that there should be a lot of education. Some of us do not know that the land in question now doesn't belong to us. The land was acquired in the Kwame regime, and Ananum did that in their free will because Nkuma told them they were going to use for the Thai center and others, and they were doing it. So Ananum just voluntarily gave the land, and there is an instrument on it. There's an instrument on it. All that Ananum have been saying these days and have been pleading that this and the compensation was not paid. It was about 20% that was paid. But if anything at all, then we have to deal with the government, but not GREL. The GREL, they are tenants. They have rented it from government and it have been given to them 50 years.
Right.
And so for sure, if we in Ananum need land, at times I have been blaming GREL also at the same time. They have no right. They have no right, have no authority even to lease any land to anybody. Because the government only account to the government in terms of revenue and others. The exact amount of land that was given to them, that is what they have to account to the government. But because of good coordination and because of good aid, they have been using their own authority and be given some land. So it got to a station and I said, no, what we are doing something that in the near future is going to affect us all. And for one, the Parliament for Lower Housing, it was something that we all said that if you need the land for land. So we got to say when they are cutting down some of their trees, the overgrown trees. One of my community, the name is Dajan, the name of the village is the town of Dajan. So what we did, we measured the land and we replaced with the same quantum of land.
Okay.
And this is a small land. So that was exactly what we said. So that GREL could maintain the exact amount of land that was given to them by the state. I got to a time. People were just going in for land, and GREL was given land after that. And some of us said, no, it is not going to Ogawa.
Exactly.
But now we need to educate Nanano. Because even if GREL should give you the land, at the end of the day, Lands Commission should be in a good position. They are the people who are taking care of government land.
Yes.
So without them approving it, it is of no use even being given land. But GREL has been working it out so hard that none have been given land. But it has got to a state that the lands that are left, if they are going to alienate the lands to the community, then it will come to it and GREL will not exist no more. So we have been advising Nanano. So we have said to GREL the other day when we met that what we need to do is to do education to the Nananum and the community know that the land in question doesn't belong to us anymore. As we have been saying, that Nananum are custodian of the fine, but you have given our right. It is right. You have given our right as Alodia owners. You have given our right to another person being the government. So if anything at all, it should be a dialogue or it should be something that we have to judge, and at the end of the day, when there's a good and a sad, then it's that.
Right.
Because of that, you brought in the Lands Commission to come and educate Nananum. That has been done by yourself. Some of Nananum do not understand, which of course we need to do much education.
Right. Now, I'm happy that you are talking about education and you waiting on the Lands Commission. But on your own, is it possible to put yourself together, and to also look at how you can, let's say, some form of peer review, help each other? I mean, from the way you are speaking, it's very clear that you understand the situations better. You understand the challenges that certain acts, like what we are experiencing now, would bring. Do you have such engagements, and by extension to the community people? Because our governance system is such that the people listen more to our chiefs, even more than our political leaders. Is this something going on? Are you thinking of going into something like that? Are you putting structures, measures together for an intensive education campaign?
Thank you so much. I think Anisha stated that, but maybe it was not clear to you. What I'm trying to do, first, we were having that problem, so we employed to bring in the Lands Commission, and we met all the communities, some of the communities and the leaders, the traditional council, to explain. So already, a Lands Commission have been in a good position to come down to explain. That is number one. The other day, when this thing happened, when we met at the place 4 days ago, what we suggested to GREL is that we need to be visiting all the communities. That is going to happen by the association is moving to traditional areas to traditional, because some of the traditional leaders, it boils up with some of the leaders. Some of the traditional leaders do understand very well, but others do not. So it has been said and stated, and we are just waiting for the approvals and others, which of course we are ready. That we will be going to traditional. For example, when an issue happens like this, it is very, very pertinent for us to be there to explain things as we say to their understanding. So that was something that was agreed upon with GREL. That is exactly what we have to do, and it should not take long, and it should be done as soon as possible. So we are waiting on them. I think somewhere latest, I think by the end of this month, you should be able to go around and be explaining. And I think when that is done, most of them in every society, there are some people who simply will say they wouldn't want to understand things. But at least you will be able in a good position to at least to win about 78% of the majority to understand entirely, so that will bring things to an end. We have been doing that.
Okay.
I've been doing that, but we need to be a sensible one.
Right. Nana, so traditionally, what would be the fate of this chief who has now been arrested? What's going to happen to him?
No, it's a criminal issue that GREL is dealing with. But for now, Nana will be meeting as early as possible. That is the executives will be meeting. I don't want it to take it out of the blow.
Right.
Nana will be meeting to discuss. So upon that, then we're going to then have a common coming together to take action on that. But for now, I wouldn't want to. Because as when the case is in court and you try to bring out that you are getting much or prejudicing the case. So I wouldn't want to give any comments on that.
That's
right.
This
is something you're going to do.
That's right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nana, for your time this morning.
We also thank you very much for all that you have said. We try also to Alice, let your voice be heard. Nananum Asheni, we are not in support. It is very barbaric. It is very uncomfort. It is, I don't know even adjective to use to qualify what I know. Because we are so much disappointed and so much disheartened. People are not saying that, Nanan, what are you doing? Nanan, you are taking care of the code. And a lot. And it goes bad against us. And that is our good reputation is being spoiled in the mud.
Thank you very much.
Thank you also.
Right.
Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye, Nana. Right, so that was the Vice Chairman, Aklango, that's the Association of Chiefs on whose land GREL operates, Awulai Atibrukusu III. All right, so these are some of the issues that we have to be dealing with, the illegal mining and its excess troubles and challenges that come with it. We really, really need to pay attention to our environment and how we are handling these whole issues.